Hey, what's up guys? It's your man Foriam again, back with a new video for V Rising. Today I'm gonna show you an epic Frost Mage build, which is gonna make you a glass cannon on the battlefield. Works great for PvE, but could also do great in PvP situations. We're gonna use some new abilities, which basically got buffed with the most recent patch. So we're gonna talk about the weapon and armor you should use for this one, the necklace, talk about which blood is gonna be the most interesting, some consumables as well, the full setup, let's say. So let's get right to it. Alright, so here we are in the base. First off, I want to say that this build can also work just fine for mid-game, but especially towards the end game, it's going to be super powerful, as we also then have access to some consumables and great blood, etc. But let's first check out the armor. So I basically have the highest level gear, Blood Moon armor, with an increased movement speed and attack speed bonuses, which aren't really interesting for caster builds, but we're also working with the shard of the Frozen Crypt, which increases your spell power by 27.9, gives you extra spell critical strike chance, increased spell critical strike damage, and also reduces the cooldown of your abilities. So this one really adds up to making us a glass cannon on the battlefield. Don't worry guys, you will still have a lot of survivability, but boy oh boy, you can hit like a truck with all these modifiers. So the weapon which we're using is the General Soul Reaper, hands down the best caster weapon in the game. Make sure to check out my video in the top right of the screen if you want to see more info about it. But all this gear basically gives us the following stats. So we get 456 HP, physical power is pretty low, but the spell power is 43.9, and we'll also have 25% chance to crit and 170% critical damage. If we drink the Scholar Blood, it's gonna be even more interesting, but let's check out the abilities. So for the abilities for this build, I focused on some new ones which recently got buffed with the latest update or patch, because we all know Chaos got nerfed big time. Anyways, I have a great Chaos build, still very viable, in the top right of the screen, but today we're gonna focus on Frost. So the first ability we're gonna use is the Crystal Lance. This one got buffed big time, went from 150% increased damage to almost 200% magical damage, and also has a reduced cooldown right now, went from 12 to 10 seconds, and the cast time is also slightly less. So basically you can use it more often, it will deal a lot more damage, so it is a pretty interesting one to use to chill multiple enemies and also freeze them if you hit them multiple times. As you can see, the casting time of the Ice Lance is pretty long, so if you want to take this one into PvP, alternatively you want to go with the Frostbat, because the cast time is a lot shorter and you actually have two of them, so you will be able to spam this ability, especially with the Scholar Blood, which is going to make it a lot more interesting to consecutively hit your enemies before they can reach you or run away. The travel ability which I use is the Veil of Chaos. This one still allows you to dash up to 2 times, so it will give you the longest travel distance, so it's gonna be very easy to engage and disengage on your enemies. But if you want to have a little bit of extra tankiness and also allow you to chill enemies in PvP, let's say, you can also go with the Veil of Frost, which did get a little nerf on the damage you deal with it, while you do get that shield, which is gonna provide some extra survivability. Anyways, the second ability is our Frost Nova. It's a great AoE ability and also gives you a chance to chill and freeze your targets. If you fail to hit enemies with it, you can even chill them for up to 5 seconds outside of the radius, let's say. So basically, if we cast it right here next to the pillar, you see that it goes all the way to the teleporter, so you can tell that the radius for the chill is pretty insane. The Ice Nova also got reduced in cooldown, also went from 12 to 10 seconds, so this one is going to be a lot more interesting, while we have the Arctic Leap as ultimate, which did get a slight nerf from 225% magical damage to 200, but in my opinion it's still one of the best ultimates, as you will be able to use this one to engage and disengage, and when you do that you will freeze all the enemies around you, including enemy players, and yeah, it's just a great one to use as engager, to disengage, to escape from sticky situations, let's say, and also deal a lot of damage while you're at it. Next up, we have the blood and the consumable. So basically, what you want to have in your base is a scholar with 100% scholar blood. This is just fantastic. Adds up to a lot more damage and cooldown reduction for this build. So just let me drink this for a second. So basically, all the bonuses you get with 100% is 20% increased spell power. Used to be 25 on the maximum percentage, but this got slightly nerfed. Anyways, Color Blood is still the best blood for mage builds. 15% reduced cooldown on spells, 10% spell life leech, and a 15 instead of 20% chance to reset the spell cooldown when casting. So the free cast is gonna make this build very interesting, and on tier 5 of course you boost all the above effects by another 30%. Anyways, some consumables which I would definitely recommend are the Witch Potion and also the Blood Rose Brew. You could also go with the Blood Rose Potion, but I think this one already suffices. It's pretty cheap to craft, will make it a lot easier to keep your HP to the maximum, so you don't have to drain your blood with the Blood Mend, let's say, because this will take your cooldown a lot faster. And then also the Witch Potion. So if you drink this one, you go to 61.8 spell power. I'm not sure if you can go even higher, maybe with one of the bonuses from the soul shards, let's say, of the final bosses in the game, but this will make you a glass cannon on the battlefield, hit your enemies like a truck, and of course if you have some soul shards you can even add up more. Anyways, let's move on to some gameplay. Talk about how you exactly use this build. Honestly, there is not much to know. It's very simple and also a little bit slower pace. So it's very relaxing to grind with this build, as you don't have to worry about many things. Even free costs aren't important at all. So basically what you're gonna do is either engage with your Howling Reaper or your Ice Nova. So the Howling Reaper is the ability you use to throw your scythe, slow down your enemies, and if they get too close, you can always use your Tendon Swing to knock them back into that slow and apply that fading snare of 2 seconds, while you can also engage with the Ice Nova ability. So you basically chill your enemies from a distance, already deal a lot of damage, and when they are chilled, you can easily land your Ice Lance, because that one is gonna be your main source of dealing damage. If you get a free cast, this one is gonna be very awesome to consecutively hit your enemies like a truck and pretty much wipe them off the battlefield in no time. If enemies get too close, you simply use your Veil of Chaos to dash away once or even twice, but you will put these decoys on the battlefield which your enemies are gonna focus on, so it's gonna be very easy to either land your Ice Nova or your Crystal Lance. This is why I think the Chaos travel ability is the greatest, because you can not only use it for escaping and engaging, but also to just distract your enemies and deal a little bit of damage while you're at it. Of course, if everything is on cooldown and you are in a sticky situation or simply want to deal a lot of damage in a short time, you're just gonna use your Arctic Leap to hit your enemies like a truck, freezing them while you're at it, and at the same time reposition yourself to start casting abilities again, both the Ice Nova and the Crystal Lance, and that is pretty much it for this build. It is that simple. Guys, if you enjoyed watching this one, if you found it helpful, make sure to hit that like button, already very much appreciated as it helps out the channel a lot. And also subscribe for future content if you want to stay in the loop with future V-Rising videos. Anyways, I also have 2 V-Rising servers, a casual PvE and heroic PvP one. Make sure to check them out, they are in the description. And of course, if you want to host your own server with a 10% discount, check out my G-Portal ref link in the description as well. Right now though, it is 4 AM out. I want to wish you guys an awesome day. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.